The fire burns within me, and it commands me to save my card fighting club. Behold, my trademark! It's time for the miraculous brake ride! Eradicator, Gauntlet Buster Dragon! Welcome back, everyone. My name is Steven Rodriguez. I'm your true champion, and in today's video, I'm going to give you guys my current Eradicator deck list for the Set 9 format in Cardfight Vanguard Zero. Yes, I know this is a long time coming. I'm so sorry, you guys, but as a lot of you guys know, my pulls in the beginning for Set 9 weren't exactly the best for Eradicators, but they were pretty good for everything else, so I was slowly able to build up my materials, and I finally have this deck done for you guys. Well, 99% done. But besides that, I'm really excited to share this deck with you guys. It's going to be so much fun. I think this is one of the best decks in the format and will continue to be one of the best decks in the format for a long time to come. A lot of you guys know that this week I posted my Eradicator trivia video for Cardfight Vanguard, so it feels very poetic that I'm also sharing you guys my Vanguard Zero deck list for Eradicators on the same week. It's almost like I planned it. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha. And not only will I be showing you guys my deck list, but I'll be doing a lot of discussion about what I think Eradicator's place is in the meta, how I think it can evolve moving forward with other cards that are coming out in the Link Joker arc of releases, and really, I'm going to be talking a lot about this deck because, let's face it guys, I love Eradicators. Big Durgans, go burr. If you guys are excited for the continuation of some awesome Vanguard Zero content here on the channel, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and click that bell for notifications so you know when my videos go live for you. And if you have any suggestions for other decks I can profile in the future, be sure to leave them down in the comments below. I would love to see them. But without further ado, what do you say we hop into my deck builder and take a look at my awesome Eradicator deck list for the Set 9 format in Cardfight Vanguard Zero. Alright guys, let's begin. Alright, now first things first, before I talk about anything else, the question that I get asked the most when I use this deck on ladder during stream is, why are you using Seishin as your starter and not Linshu? There's really two reasons. Number one is that I'm playing a lot of non-Eradicator grade 1s and 2s in the form of Death Scythe and Rising Phoenix, so I want to have maximum consistency to use my starter skill in the beginning of the game. So I'm playing Seishin instead of Linshu for that. And reason number two is, while Linshu is a very powerful card at being able to retire anything after boosting a successful attack with an Eradicator, I feel like the most valuable thing you can get rid of in this game is boosters and starters. And so if I just want to get rid of boosters and starters and I want to do it the most consistent way possible, the better card to play is Seishin over a card like Linshu, because Linshu has too many restrictions compared to Seishin. So it's a personal choice based off of consistency and just overall availability of the actual skill. That is why I'm using Seishin and not using Linshu. And the second thing that I get asked most on stream when I use this deck is, why are you playing a copy of Vermilion in your deck? And guys, I don't know if you have eyeballs and can use them, but I only have 3 copies of Eradicator Gauntlet Buster Dragon. I know it's heartbreaking. I'm heartbroken too. I'm working on getting this 4th one done, but it will take some time. But don't worry too much if you guys yourselves don't have access to the full deck that I'm using right now. Honestly, 3 copies of Gauntlet Buster, 3 copies of Vowing Sword, 3 copies of Descendant put in just as much work as the full playsets you see here, so don't worry too much. And hey, if need be, you can always round it off by playing a cool card like Vermilion, which can retire the front row still and get in some pretty good damage against your opponent when they're at 5 damage. So you know what? It's better than nothing. Alright, now that I got those 2 obvious questions answered, let's talk about the actual deck itself, starting of course with the grade 3s. Of course, we have the 14th grade 3, if you want to call it that, in Vermilion. He's in here because I don't have anything else, that's fine. Next we have a copy of Electric Shaper Dragon, the actual 13th card in this deck, and he's essentially a 5th break ride in the deck. Limit Break 4, when rolled upon, your Vanguard gets power plus 10,000 and the following ability to end the turn. When your opponent's front row rear guard is retired due to your card effect, retire your opponent's rear guard in the back row of that unit. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, it gets power plus 3,000 to enter that battle. Very simple, very cool. This combos really nicely with cards like Saucer Cannon Wyvern and Dragonic Death Scythe to retire multiple units during your turn and have some nice synergy with gaining multiple crits and multiple power gains for Eradicator Gauntlet Buster Dragon. Basically, for a Counterblast 2, you kill 2, and if you have it again, you can Counterblast 4, kill 4. Pretty solid. And then you get 4 criticals and plus 12,000 power. That's pretty solid as well. And while Shaper Dragon has a really nice combo potential with a card like Gauntlet Buster Dragon, the far superior Eradicator break ride is, of course, Vowing Sword Dragon. When rolled upon, Limit Break 4, your Vanguard gets power plus 10,000 and retire one of your opponent's units in the front row. Very simple, very clean. It's basically an extra attack during your turn plus a 10,000 power boost to your Vanguard. Super strong, super aggressive, literally everything this deck wants to do. Honestly, this card is just so amazing. He is the main break ride for this deck because he essentially facilitates our big aggressive plays at the end of the game, either with Gauntlet Buster Dragon or of course with Draconic Descendant. Speaking of those cards, let's talk about them. I've talked a little bit about Gauntlet Buster Dragon. Here's what he actually does. He has two skills. The first one is Limit Break 4. When your opponent's rear guard is retired due to your card effect, this unit gets power plus 3000 and critical plus 1 to end of turn. This card can gain criticals like crazy. We have so many retire effects in this deck, it's not even funny. If you just break ride him on Thowing Sword Dragon, not only do you get a free attack that turn thanks to the retire 1 front row rear guard, but you also get that critical plus automatically, which is super strong. You're pressuring so much damage against your opponent that turn, and if they don't have a PG, they're literally dead. That's what this card says, PG or die. He also has a non-limit break skill, Counterblast 2, retire one of your opponent's rear guards at random with priority to the back row. This is nice for not only enabling his limit break to gain power and criticals, but it can be useful to just retire annoying back rows / just clear your opponent's board if need be. While this is a nice feature of this card, we don't really use this as our main retire effects in this deck because we want to get extra aggression out of our retire effects pretty much whenever we can. And so while this card is nice for enabling extra aggression via his effect, it's not actually good for gaining extra attacks like Saucer Cannon Wyvern, Death Scythe, or even Thowing Sword Dragon can do. So while this is a retire option, it is not our main one. And moving on to probably my favorite card in this deck and favorite Eradicator of all time, we have Eradicator Draconic Descendant, and this boy is our main finisher, and he has two skills. The first one is the main one. Limit Break 4. Once per turn, when this unit attacks, it gets the following ability until end of that battle. At the end of that battle, if that attack did not hit, Counterblast 1 and discard 2 Eradicator cards from your hand to stand this unit, draw 2 cards, and this unit gets critical plus 1 until end of turn. This is a re-standing Vanguard that gains criticals and draws cards, very similar to Draconic Overlord at the end, but unlike the end, he actually needs to not hit in order to restand, which is actually a really cool feature, which means if your opponent's at 5 damage and they have a PG in their hand, they actually need 2 PGs in order to survive that turn, because the first time they PG, you're just going to Counterblast 1, discard 2, restand, and attack them again, this time plus 1 critical. Super devastating. It can eat out so many cards from your opponent, or it just kills them. And the restriction of only discarding 2 Eradicators, believe it or not, is so easy in this deck. And once I talk about sort of how you can sort of facilitate bigger cards in hand, you can almost always go for this and be extra aggressive against your opponent pretty much every single game. But there you guys go. That's pretty much it for the grade 3s. The only thing I would change about my grade 3 lineup is change that Vermilion for a 4th Gauntlet Buster, just for maximum consistency of the most powerful cards in the deck. In the future, once we get cards like Sweep Command Dragon, Tempest Bolt Dragon, heck, Ignition Dragon, I could definitely see these grade 3 lineups changing, but for now, this is definitely the most solid one I can think of moving forward. Moving on to grade 2s, you will notice that I'm kind of focusing on 2 major things when it comes to my grade 2 lineup: aggression and then consistency of that aggression. The main way I'm doing that is I'm playing a lot of cards that retire rear guards and playing other cards that can just facilitate more extension of plays throughout the game through countercharging and soul charging. So let's talk about that. First things first, we have the best Narukami card in general, no cap, Draconic Death Scythe. This is the Berserk Dragon clone. This card is so stupid, especially in this deck. Being able to Counterblast 2 or either retire a front row, gain a crit on Gauntlet Buster, or just gain an extra attack so you can deal that extra damage with Death Scythe, so that way you can actually swing per game, is super strong. Or just being able to actually 2-for-1 in the early game by retiring a back row and then swinging at a front row is super strong. I honestly love this card in this deck and what it can actually do for you. Full 4 copies, no questions asked. Similar to why we play Death Scythe, we are playing 2 copies of Saucer Cannon Wyvern. Not only is it an Eradicator, but it also can retire a front and rear guard on place for Counterblast 2. Most of the time it's killing grade 2s for that extra attack / that proccing of Gauntlet Buster's effect. Super cool. The reason why I'm playing more Death Scythe opposed to Saucer Cannon Wyvern is that I do value that ability to 2-for-1 in the early game more so than just overall aggression in the late game, and so I've made the decision to actually run more Death Scythe over Saucer Cannon Wyvern. Up next, we sort of have the generic just beat stick of the deck. We have Spark Rain Dragon. Being able to commit 1 card from hand and still threaten your opponent with a damage is actually really nice for Descendant turns, because you can conserve cards in your hand so that way you can have more cards access to discard, which is super nice. And just having a nice generic 12k attacker that you can combo with cards like Shugi to make powerful columns can also be super sweet throughout the game. And finally, we have the best, most abusive card in the deck. We have Supreme Army Eradicator Zuitan. Vanguard Rearguard. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, if you have an Eradicator as your Vanguard, Soul Charge 1, Counter Charge 1. This is honestly so busted in Vanguard Zero. Being able to guarantee Soul Charge 1 and Counter Charge 1 is actually insane. There are games where I have like 2 of these in play and they both hit, and I just get so many resources that I cannot wait to abuse later on with cards like Gauntlet Buster Dragon, Descendant, or even Rising Phoenix, which I am playing a full 4 of, by the way. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the grade 2s. Some other ones you can consider playing are like Garuda for some even more counter charge in the deck, or even Desert Gunner Shiden, so that way you can have like an extra way to gain aggression without the need for counterblasts, which can be super cool. But for right now, this grade 2 lineup is super sweet, and until we get cards like Cho-Oh in the future, I don't see it changing anytime soon. Moving on to grade 1s, we of course have our 4 Eradicator Wyvern Guard Gold PGs. Having the name of Eradicator is actually really important for our cost of Descendant, slash just being able to always enable our Break Ride via the new Sentinel skill is super nice. Moving on, we have my favorite card in the grade 1 slot, 4 Rising Phoenix. Here is why I love this card, because you can guarantee hit with Zweetan. You can get so much soul with this deck, on top of the Seishin, the Break Ride, your regular rides for turn, and of course any Zweetans you proc. I have actually used Rising Phoenix 3 times in a game before, and that is just so broken. Going +3 in hand and on board is just ridiculous in this deck. It's just so good, because all of our dudes get kind of big, and we have Break Ride skills. We don't really care too much about boosters, and if we do, we have Shuki to make up for it in the late game. Honestly, Rising Phoenix is the best card in this deck, not only for gaining advantage in your hand for cards like Descendant, but also just gaining presence on board, so you can pressure harder in the early, mid, and late game. Honestly, this card is broken. Please play it at 4. You don't know what you're missing. Up next, I kind of already talked about him, we have Steel Blood Eradicator Shuki. He has a really neat effect, Rearguard. When your opponent's Rearguard is retired due to your card effect, this unit gets power plus 3,000 until end of the turn. He has the same effect as Demonic Joka, but he is an Eradicator, therefore we can discard him for Descendant's effect, and he will still activate. Super cool, and being able to make really cool columns using our grade 3s or even our 12k attackers in the late game after Break Riding is super nice for just pushing damage when your opponent's at 4 or even 3. And the 13th grade 1, this can literally be like any Eradicator you want to. It can be Caster, it could be like that funny grade 1 that has like a weird on play skill, I forget what it does, but I'm using Demolition Dragon right now because sometimes your opponent like puts a lot of cards on the board against you to kind of rush you down and kind of force you to 4 or 5 damage faster. So being able to have like cheap counter push cards like this in your hand is super nice, or being able to rush your opponent yourself using a card like this is also super nice. So Demolition Dragon, super nice card to have in the deck. Perfectly rounds out the grade 1 slots in my opinion. One other like non-Eradicator card you could play in this deck if you really want to experiment is Desert Gunner Ryan. I think Desert Gunners have a lot of synergy with Eradicators because on the turn you go for a Vowing Sword Dragon, you can retire 1 intercept and then you can call a Ryan and then paralyze the other one. So essentially for no counterblasts, you get 2 extra attacks against your opponent, which is super nice. And if your opponent's at 4 damage and you broke or a Descendant, that could be a super devastating turn for them because now they're going to be forced to PG or die to the Descendant, which is super nice. So I think Desert Gunner Ryan is a nice inclusion for this deck in terms of your overall aggression, but I've kind of focused my grade 1 slots on overall consistency. But if you want to give Ryan a try, by all means go ahead and do so. Super powerful card. And yeah guys, that's pretty much it for my Eradicator deck in the set 9 meta for Cardfight Vanguard Zero. I'm playing 9 draws in this deck because you're already so aggressive as it is. You don't need crits or stands. You just want to maximize your ability to draw cards and beat your opponent's face. That's all you gotta do. If you guys have any lingering questions, please feel free to leave them down in the comments below, or better yet, hop into my Twitch channel. I do go live every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. I spend a lot of time in just chatting, and I do play Vanguard Zero every now and then. So if you ever want to see me use this deck live in person, that is the best place to do so. Links down below, as always. But without further ado, what do you say we hop into the rank ladder and see what this deck can do? All right, guys, let's go. Alright guys, here we are for game 1, fighting against Nova Grappler. Ooh, please be Blau Ethics, please be Blau Ethics, please be Blau Ethics. I love fighting against Blau Ethics, and I love using that deck. Super fun, Wombo deck. Perfect hand, question mark? Yes, as far as I'm concerned, this hand is really good. I'm gonna keep it. I wish it was a Zweetan instead of a Spark Rain, but wins are wins, right? All right, going first, drawing another PG. That could be useful, could be bad. We'll find out later. I'm gonna ride my boy here, call the other boy, and pass. I'm actually never gonna use Seishin until I see a Toolkit boy hit the board. I doubt he'll commit the Toolkit Boy early unless he has 2 in his hand. But if he does and I see it, I'm gonna kill it. That's rule number 1 when it comes to fighting this deck and using Saishin. Rule number 1. But let's see what he goes for here. That way we can get a better feel here. There's the Toolkit Boy, but it's on Vanguard, obviously. So this is definitely Blau Ethics, so let's see what happens here. He's gonna call that to the back row. Normally you call it to the column over here or over here, so you can have access to Toolkit Boy like in the mid game if you need to, but he probably won't be going for it this game anyway, so there's no point, I guess. It's his mindset. There's another PG, that's fine. I mean, we don't really need any more as far as I'm concerned. Having 3 would be cool, I guess, but not until we're about to die. Ooh, Phoenix, really good. I'm gonna hang on to the Cannon Wyvern because sometimes this deck can be a little aggressive. Like they'll call grade 2s if they have them in hand just to dig, like Transresor and stuff. So having the Cannon Wyvern to kill those is really nice. I will not use that effect on a Myrio. I could use it on Myrio, maybe make it a bit harder for him to get his Ethics Buster or his Stern Blaukluger, but for now I'm feeling like I don't really need to care too much about it. We'll find out for sure later though. There's a Golden Anglet Ride. That is not good for him. He needs to hang on to those as much as possible. He actually chose to go for the Street Bouncer for the dig just to get that extra dig through his deck. He could have like multiple Anglets and Yamato Drakes in hand, which could like justify that ride, but for now, I'm gonna assume that it was not a good ride for him. And we're just gonna draw trigger after draw trigger over here. Oh my gosh. And then we're gonna call a Horizon Phoenix and get more draws. Oh my gosh. The amount of plussing you can do sometimes in Vanguard Zero with this deck is so crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and ride Bowing Sword Dragon, get that super sweet Naoki ride animation in there for us. Ooh, look at that boy. Look at that boy. All right. And then we're gonna go ahead and go for a Rising Phoenix. Activate the effect. Let's see what I draw here. We get a Death Scythe. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead and rush him here. I feel like this is a good play for us. It is, as far as I'm concerned, 1919. Yep. It'll go, yeah, this will be fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and go for Saucer Cannon, killing the Street Bouncer. I don't want to commit the Death Scythe. I don't think I have to. I'm gonna hang on to the Death Scythe. I'm gonna make a bit of a riskier play here. Like worst comes to worst, I only give him 3 damage anyway. But if I can give him 4 this turn, I will. Ooh, I can. Sick. Well, potentially. That's good. Like, had he got defensive there, it could have been a bad turn, obviously. But I'm okay with him being at 3 instead of 4. But, oh, pushing him to 4 right here is so, so good for us. Oh, my gosh. This is the best turn I could have asked for here against this matchup, which is so nice for us. So just pushing him to 4 puts the pressure on him. He can't go for his big wombo play on the next turn. And I have a Death Scythe in my hand, so unless he calls 2 intercepts down, I'll be able to swing in for game, which is super nice. So I'm forcing him to kind of call cards from his hand, and my opponent immediately DCs. He literally closed the app. He's like, bro, we're not having it. Oh no, just bad Wi-Fi. Okay, dude. If he literally DC'd, I would have laughed so hard. There is the Ethics Buster. Okay. All right, I see you, Mr. Tiger Boy. There goes the Kira and the Anglet. I know for a fact I can psychically link to him. He did not want to call that Anglet, but he has to. Otherwise, he's boop bop beep dead. And the cool thing is that I'm gonna kill that Anglet and swing at him, still hit him for game 2, which is nice. And how many PGs have I seen from him actually? Did he not drive check 1 right now? I think that's 2 gone. I'm assuming 2 gone. Moving forward, I'm assuming 2 gone. Another Death Scythe, that's pretty good for us. He only gave us the 1 Counterblast, obviously, so I won't be able to use Death Scythe's effect, which is fine. But calling both of them feels like the correct thing I should be doing here. Yeah, 100%. And then I hang on to this, there's no reason not to. Swing, and then I swing at the Vanguard, push him to 5. Now, the question I have here is, do I kill that Myrio? I don't care about it. It literally is a pointless card. It changes no math. I guess it could get him a Yamato Drake if he doesn't already have one in hand, but then he's using a Counterblast. Without Toolkit Boy, he won't be able to restand anyway, so I want to kill it. It just feels, no, I'm gonna kill it, and here's why. Because I get to use Rising Phoenix the next turn. There's a heal trigger that would have been super cool if he actually gave us 4 damage. I'm gonna give the power to my Vanguard because it doesn't matter. Okay. We hit him, he goes to 5, that's cool. I will kill this Myrio just in case he doesn't have a Yamato Drake or something. He has to like have the stones in, like his hand has to be so stacked right now. I have 2 intercepts, 2 PGs, I'm only at 3 damage. The amount of attacks he has to go through to actually kill us this turn is astronomical. There is the Stern Blaukluger. Let's see what he's got going on, team. This is just this is the cool part about Vanguard Zero. I'm putting my phone down, I'm sitting back, let's see what he's got. I will comment if anything cool happens. Yamato Drake, Toolkit Boy. Oh, no anglet, yes! Yes, this is subpar. I'm not dying to this. There's no way I die to this. One defensive, it's 100% over. No defensives, still 100% over, just a little less obvious. Draw trigger, who does he give that to? It should go to the Yamato Drake. Yes, okay, good. Another draw trigger? Oh, dude, no! Broken, absolutely broken. I still have 2 PGs though. Draw trigger for us, I'm also equally busted. I drew a heal trigger, that's a bit of a feels bad, man, but it's okay. That double trigger on the dude is pretty good, not gonna lie. Not gonna lie, that's pretty good. All right, discarding 2 cards, drawing 1 card, going for the Toolkit Boy, pretty good. This will be his last restand. Yamato Drake will hit us, I will PG, yeah, I'm not dead. Oh, I might not even lose any PGs, bro. Yo, anything you can do, I can do better. You double drove check draw triggers, I double damage check draw triggers, homie. He needs 1 trigger on his 1 drive check. He doesn't get it. Oh, didn't even need my PGs, chat. Didn't even need them. And he instantly scoops. I love it so much, bro. Oh, Eradicator's making people scoop every day. Let's go, baby. Let's go. All right, here we are for game 2. That was an insane game 1. And now we're fighting a Narukami mirror match. Oh boy. Kind of similar to the Blauethics mirror matchup actually, is that, well, we don't want to be aggressive in the early game. If we have the ability to catch him off guard, we kind of will. I don't like either of these cards in my hand, so I'm gonna return them. I will also return this just to get an extra dick for grade 3s. And oh, that hand is spicy, bro. Give me a Death Scythe. Oh, he's playing Linshu as well. Yo, he's playing Linshu, bro. He's a classic, bro, right here. I've always wondered, usually it's better to let them kill your Seishin than for you to kill their Linshu. However, if I do have Zuitan right here, so I might actually go for it if he chooses to not kill my Seishin, because I do have the Shuki in my hand. I have to write it anyway, but had I drew another grade 1, being able to conserve the ability to protect that Shuki is really good. But I wouldn't be surprised if he rides Zuitan, kills our Seishin or whatever just to gain the bunches of soul. But let's see what he chooses to do here. Just gonna deal him the damage and move forward. Spark Rain Dragon checks out. What he wants to do here is go ride Zuitan, call Spark Rain, just go in if he can, because my counter rush cards in hand are non-existent. But if I had a Death Scythe in my hand, I'd have a really good counter push potential. Main. All right, straight to battle. Okay, cool. I imagine he's gonna go for it just for the building up of soul if he's playing Rising Phoenix. If not, he might just leave it so that way he can kill other things later. Let's see. Will he go for it, chat? Will he go for it? Is he one of those guys that doesn't even think about it and just clicks activate effect? Let's find out. Because if he doesn't do it, I will do it during my turn. Okay, cool. He did it. He realized, oh, I'm going to build 2 soul, which is really good for resources later on. There goes another Demolition Dragon. So he's playing a pretty aggressive version of Eradicators, it looks like. He's playing a lot of just going in cards. I'm going to go ahead and ride my Sweet Boy. I'm going to go ahead and call this and call this. I'm assuming he's not playing Death Scythe at this point. So I feel like the Shuki is pretty safe moving forward. Getting in there for this 2 damage feels really good for us. That draw trigger doesn't matter. I mean, it's whatever, but getting in there for another damage is always good. Soul charging another card for the eventual Rising Phoenix plays is gonna be nice. Speaking of Rising Phoenix, there she is. There's the chicken. There is the chicken. All right, let's see what he goes for. Do you have Vowing Sword Dragon? I have the full slurry of choices here. I have Descendant and I have Vowing Sword. Super cool. Looking forward to flexing these muscles later. But there's his awesome ride animation. You guys are Rising Phoenix? Oh yeah, at least he's playing at least 3. Good man. Do you have the Death Scythe though? Oh, he does have the Death Scythe, bro. I got baited, bro. I wish I had my Death Scythe, man. I would have literally held my entire hand if I had it, because then I would have been like, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna kill everything. Yep, I fell for the play that I would have loved to have done, but he's not really going that hard into us, so I have time to commit Vowing Sword, swing, push him to 4, and I won't die, and then I'll have just potentially a draw trigger or 2, maybe a Rising Phoenix topic to build my own board against him and go for a game myself. So let's see what we can do here with what little we have. A Death Scythe of our own. Ooh, I'm gonna hang on to that though. We hang on to that for the next turn. Then we call this. We swing. Because at this point, I do not care about valuing Sword Dragon. I just don't. I don't care about his break right. I don't care about his break right turn. I ain't dying. I have a PG in my hand. If he wants to go for the biggest Gauntlet Buster ever, he can only gain 1 critical anyway. I'm not gonna worry about it. We get a heal trigger, whatever. It would have been cool if that procced. That would have been a really cool proc heal trigger. 3-2. Oh, that would have been super good. Another draw trigger. I'm not too happy about that, but it should be all right because my plan is to go in for Descendant on the next turn. Because I'll be able to retire both front rows, get hopefully a cheeky swing in there, and then swing twice. So as long as he doesn't have 2 PGs in that hand, we're good. Even if he does, he's gonna break ride, bro. Yo, he thinks he has time. Oh, I think what this means is that he's not gonna call anything else, right? That's what this means, right? He's not gonna call anything else. He's just gonna swing now, right? He's just gonna swing now, right? You gotta just swing now, right? Like you don't. Like I feel like that's the only thing you would go for, right? Like what's the point of not going for a Gauntlet Buster pushing me to 5 this turn, right? Like what? How is it not better? He's playing Jin the Lightning Flash. Yo, this boy's okay, cool. That must be like his 14th grade. Like he's like, I don't want to play Vermilion. I want to play this. Okay, well now I'm really intrigued by what his thought process was. I don't understand it now. I don't understand it now. Why he oh wow, cheeky heal. Oh well now what I well now I can do something else actually. Well now what I could do is ride Gauntlet Buster, right? Board wipe him. Oh dude, double Phoenix, bro. Come on, that breaks my heart. My chickens. I need my I need my protein. Oh. I mean, right? Yeah. 1 PG. I don't feel safe with 1 PG against a Descendant, right? But either way, I don't. Either way, it's the same thing. So I think it's best for me to go break ride Gauntlet Buster, retire, counterblast 2, retire back row, call, intercept, swing for the 3, force PG out, pass turn, he's at 3 damage, next turn, do it again, yeah. I feel like this is better. It's like a cheekier way to force out 2 PGs, and it plays around him having Descendant to kill us, which I'm afraid of. There's no reason to waste a perfectly good intercept, so I'm just gonna call this, I guess. A heal trigger here would be God tier. I tried to wish it into existence. I tried. All right, so that's 4 cards in his hand, no cards on board, no limit break to be seen. Next turn I can proc my limit break again by retiring a back row, and then I don't think he's gonna commit 2 front rows, right? So we should be okay. Or any back rows too, like it depends on what he calls, right? There's a front. If he doesn't call any back row, don't care about that card. Don't care about that card at all. I literally have counterblast 2 things, so I'll swing in again, force out another card from his hand, kind of make it really hard for him to go for a Descendant push. If I get a heal, we're gods. Gets another draw trigger, that doesn't make me feel pretty good. That does not make me feel good. Another draw, come on, game, give me a chance here, bro. What's with this sacking? What is with this sacking? That is not fair to me. Okay, a draw trigger of my own, I'll take it. A Shookster, that's, I guess, okay. If I draw a Death Scythe, Demolition Dragon, not nothing. Do I have time? No, I don't, man. I don't. Jesus. Okay, he's definitely got it. And now his hand is so big, it feels like there's no point. Don't activate. You gotta do it like this. Do you have another PG? That's how a lot of games go sometimes when you go Gauntlet Buster. Do you have it? He doesn't have it, chat! Oh my god, yes! Let's go! Gauntlet Buster is the best card in this deck, bro! Yo, okay, I gotta talk about this. Like, there's so many times when you're playing Eradicators where it's like, dang, my opponent is just sacking so much against me. I have no way to pressure. The only hope I have is, do you have PG? And they don't, and it always happens, bro. Gauntlet Buster is the best kill card in the game. Oh my gosh. And boom, there you guys go. That has been my Eradicator deck list for the Set 9 format in Cardfight Vanguard Zero. And I think it goes without saying, I love this deck. I love playing with it, and more often than not, I love winning with it. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you guys made it all the way through, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and click that bell for notifications so you know when my videos go live for you. And be sure to leave a suggestion down below for the next Vanguard Zero video I can do for you in the future. And again, if you have any lingering questions, be sure to leave them down in the comments below, or better yet, hop into my Twitch channel. I do go live every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. I spend a lot of time in just chatting, and I love playing Vanguard Zero and talking about it with all of you. So come stop by, hang out, ask some questions, and hopefully get some live answers from me. Links to my Twitch down below as always. And with that being said, I've been your true champion, Steven. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to work hard, rest easy, and live well. And I will see you all next time. Peace.